Welcome to the boating adventure. Well, a very good day to you, and it's Wednesday the 24th of September 2025, and I thought I'd come into the workshop today. There's some jobs that I want to do down at the boat this coming weekend, but in order to do that I've got to do some preparation in here first. One job is I want to renew the piece of wood that is on the deck on the windscreen, and it covers over the gap between the two halves of windscreen, and I've noticed for a while now that the paint's all been peeling off, and it's starting to look like the wood underneath is suffering from a bit of rot. So that needs to come off. It's only a small piece about that size, so I'm going to replace it. So I've got some wood here that I found in the workshop, so I need to cut it up, sand it down, and then I'm going to paint it here in the workshop and then take it with me at the weekend. I thought I could improve on its design from before, so that at the back of it I'm going to attach a rubber seal, so when it goes flush against the windscreen it'll make a much better fit and it won't let the water through. So that's my plan for that. When I get to the boat at the weekend, I want to paint all of the dark blue wood parts on the deck, either side really of the deck where the mooring ropes are attached. That's beginning to look a bit shabby, so they want doing, just to make sure that they're fully sealed for the winter. Although I renewed the engine cover not that long ago, I noticed that when River Canal Rescue came the other day and we were fiddling around with the engine at the back, that cover is beginning to show signs of wear and tear already. It's basically due to the fact that this summer it got some intensive sunshine and heat on it, and it started to separate at the edges a little bit. Even though I fiberglassed it, the heat has just got to it, and then water has got in, so that you can see the different layers of the plywood beginning to separate. So as a temporary measure really, just to keep it together a bit more, I've bought some of this rubber seal, so I'm going to attach that, put that around the edge of the engine cover, and hopefully that will help to keep it together and make it last a little bit longer. So that's another job to do when I get to the boat at the weekend. I don't have the exact measurements here of the windscreen on the deck, so I'm going to use a piece of wood which is far too long, and then I'm going to paint it and so on and get it all prepped, and then when I get to the boat it'll be just a matter of cutting it to size and fitting it. That's the plan. The whole of the boat really on the outside needs painting again now. It's been since about 2019 when I painted it, and I used a car paint, and that has lasted very well. It really has. Most impressed with that, but it's started to dull a bit now, and there are a few places where it has started to peel off, just down to sheer wear and tear, heat and rain and all that. So it does need doing. It was going to be a late summer job, but with the uncertainty of where the boat is going to be for the next few weeks, it's not a good time to start it now. That'll probably have to wait until the spring. But there are a few bits of paintwork that can't wait that long, so they do need to be done. So whilst it's at Trinity Marina for the next little while, I'm going to try and get things like that done, and then when we eventually move the boat it'll look a bit smarter. I've been looking at the CRT website, and as far as I can see there are no changes to their latest update, which says that they're trying to open the canals for a 2-week window starting the 20th of October, and that will allow folks like me to get my boat to its proper home mooring. A very good morning to you. It is Saturday the 27th of September 2025 and I'm making my way down to Trinity Marina at Hinckley. I want to go and fit that piece of wood onto the windows of the cockpit. So that involves removing the navigation light on the top, removing the old wooden bar and replacing it with the new one, and then putting the navigation light back. I've also brought some paint with me so that I can paint all the wooden bits at this side of the cockpit where the ropes all fit onto, so that'll make that all nice and clean. Today's video, which went out at 8 o'clock, was entitled Water Matters, and that was really my last opportunity to do a video of going up and down the Ashby Canal. Originally we had a notification from the CRT saying that we would be able to move the boat to its new marina starting on the 20th of October, because they were opening the locks for a couple of weeks to allow people to get back to their home moorings before the November stoppages start kicking in. Because we haven't been able to get to the home mooring since the 26th of August. So that's quite a while really, and I've been paying for the new mooring and not being able to use it, and it is a lot more expensive than the one I'm on. So that's been a bit annoying. But it can't be helped. We had a notification this week to say that the CRT are bringing forward that date. They're bringing it forward to the 10th of October. So we're going to start moving the boat on the 9th of October. We're going to take it as close to the Atherstone flight as we can get, so that we can get down the Atherstone flight as soon as possible. The locks are only open between 10 and 3, so it's a small window of opportunity, and obviously there'll be a lot of boats trying to do the same journey. But the one good thing about the Atherstone flight is once you get through quite a few of the locks, then you can moor up in the pounds if you can't complete the journey in the allotted time. We've done that once before and that was fine. So we're going to be able to hopefully get the boat to its new marina sometime after the 10th of October. It'll take us 2 or 3 days to get there, just depending on how quickly we can get through the locks. There is another set of locks at Glasgow, but there are only 2 locks, but they tend to be quite busy. So by the time you see this video, we should already be at the new mooring. It's a bit confusing because I'm filming this now. So by the time you see it, all these events should have happened. And that's why I like to do the weekly updates, because I don't make them until the last minute, so that I can respond to recent events, if you like. So I will be keeping you updated through those little videos that go out on Sundays, usually around about 5 o'clock. So it's off to the marina. Let's get these jobs done. Okay, so I'm down on the boat, got it all prepped, ready to go out, and I'm just going south on the Ashby Canal. I'm not going to go very far, I just need to find a quiet mooring where I can do some painting. I'm sort of heading towards Bridge 14 and maybe try and moor up between 14 and 13. That's a spot that I've used quite a few times. Stayed overnight there. It's quiet and a little bit out of the way. So the boat in front is one of the Ashby Canal Centre hire boats in. It's one of their smaller ones which they use as a day boat, and you very often see it coming up and down the canal. There'll be balloons on it, and you know, people celebrating significant events in their life, and there's often a large amount of alcohol consumed on it, so you have to be a little bit wary of it. It could be that the people in front have hired boats continuously and they know everything there is to know about it, or they could have just picked it up, never been on a canal boat in their life, had about an hour's tuition if they're lucky, and off you go, expecting to know all the rules and regulations of canals. So it's as well to give them a wide berth and err on the side of caution until we know differently. You can see at the side here that the Ashby Canal is fairly full at the moment. It's just about to go over the spillways. So there's no shortage of water in this canal at the moment. So I hope that's indicative of the rest of the canals around this area, so that we can really be assured of getting going on the 9th of October. Cheers, thank you. Okay, so the girl who was a helmsman seemed to know what she was doing and let me go past at a suitable place, so that was good. So we're 6 days into autumn, which is a bit early really to be doing any autumn recording. So I'm hoping that when we move the boat on the 9th and we come down here, the 9th of October, then the scenery will have changed and the leaves will be more of a golden colour. So hopefully we can get a little bit of footage of that on our way down the Ashby Canal, because there's some really nice wooded areas here to go through. This is where I wanted to moor up, just before bridge 13. Very quiet here, used it loads of times. All you've got at one side are just loads and loads of cornfields. And you very often see some deer early in the morning. In case they're that high boat, it's a hen do. Of course there is the old joke, what's a hen do? It lays eggs. Okay, so this is the rubber that I'm going to put around the edge of that engine board. I've tried it and it does fit, but I saw a top tip the other day on another channel, Phil Murphy, who does subscribe to this channel, and he was fitting a rubber gasket for a window that he's putting in on his boat, and we all know what trouble that is, and it nearly defeated him. And then he came up with a solution, which was to soak the rubber gasket in some fabric conditioner and some detergent in a bucket of hot water, and it made all this a lot more pliable, and that was the saving of his little project. And he was very pleased with the final result. So thank you to Phil. I'm going to pinch that idea. So I've got a bucket and I've got some detergent with fabric conditioner, so I'm going to put some hot water in and let this soak for a little while and let it get it around the edge. And you can see where the paintwork is coming away and the laminate of the plyboard is coming apart. So if I get this rubber on, it'll help to keep it all together and keep it a little bit more waterproof around the edge. So that's what I intend to do. Okay, so I've got the rubber seal in the bucket with the hot water and some detergent. And I'm just going to go around the edge of the board there and just get rid of the loose bits. So that was a brilliant tip, and it worked perfectly. Before, when I tried to do it, all the edges here on the bends, they were just sticking up, and it just made them all flatten down and just fit really well. So thank you, Phil. That works. So the rubber, you need to soak it in some hot water and fabric conditioner, and it just slots on so easily. That is fantastic. I must remember that for next time I change the windows. So with a bit of paint, this is going to last a little bit longer until I can get it back to the workshop. Once we're at the new marina, I can take it into the workshop and re-fiberglass around the edges and do it properly. Okay, so I'm really pleased with that. That was looking a whole lot better. So this is the piece of wood in between the two window panes that needs replacing. You can see it's getting pretty rotten, so that needs to come off. First of all, I need to remove the navigation light and the front camera there. That needs to come off, and then I can unscrew this hopefully and replace it. Some of these screws are well and truly rusted. and I think there must be a screw from the other side. Let's see if I can get that off. Now that should lift off. Yeah. So I can use this piece now to measure the next bit. Okay, so it needs to be cut off just there. I can lose that bit. So I've got a couple of new screws to put this bracket back on. Get rid of the old rusty ones. Okay, and I'm going to replace the screws inside as well. Okay, so that's that little job done. That's looking a whole lot neater, and should last for a while. It's starting to rain, so I was going to do the woodwork at the outside, so I'm going to have to try and rig something up where I can work under some tarpaulin or something, and then turn the boat round and do the other side. So I've rigged myself up a temporary shelter so I can just do this bit of painting and it not get too wet. So all I want to do is this piece of wood here. It goes all the way along there, and it's getting a bit shabby just there. Paint's peeling off, so that needs sanding down, and it needs a coat of paint on it. So there's one this side and one the other side, of course. So I'll do this side first, and then if the rain holds off, I'll turn the boat round and do the other side, set my tent up again. But at least I'm going to be able to paint and stay dry, unless it absolutely bounces down, and then I'm going to give up. Couple of pieces of wood there just at the end of the engine compartment, either side. They need a quick sanding down and some paint on them. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I was certainly pleased with the end product, the painting that I did, the replacing of that central bar on the windows, and also the work that I did on the engine cover. I'm now dotting the I's and crossing the T's as far as the swamp duck is concerned, as I await that magic date when we can begin to move the swamp duck to its new home mooring, where we can begin some new adventures on different waterways. So thank you very much for your continuous support. I'd like to bring your attention to a new feature on the channel. If you're watching on a mobile phone, then you'll notice that there is a tab which says Visit Community. If you go onto that, there's a place where you can interact with the channel in general, rather than just leaving comments at the end of the videos that you have watched. So you can put some of your own material on there as well, and also begin discussions. Hasn't been used so far, but let's see if we can make use of it. So thank you very much, and as always, do take care.